Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Billionaire Adventure Club here in Belize, and loved the experience of coming here and just working with everyone and doing one-on-one trainings and so forth. And it's so fun to be able to impart knowledge and wisdom that I've learned from masters. One of the greatest teachers I've ever learned from, Mr. Chris Howard, who we just heard from a moment ago, said something at Breakthrough to Success that still sticks in my brain to this day. He said that he was where he was at because he was standing on the shoulders of giants. And so this is so important, and that's why being at events, mentorship events like the one that we're at here is so important, because there's giants here, and we're all giants. And so having the right mentors and the right people in all the different areas of your life, having an advisory board for your company is so invaluable. And it's really fascinating because, something people don't think about, they might say, well, I don't know how to get a mentor, I don't know where they are, I don't know where advisors are, and so forth. And the reality is, one of my advisors is Abraham Lincoln. He died, 150 years ago or so? But whenever I have a real challenge, I can think about, well, how would Abraham Lincoln handle this? I can read books about him. I can learn, I can watch DVDs about him, and I can learn from him. I was explaining to someone on the bus the other day of how I studied this 8 DVD series of New York City. And some of the ideas on this DVD series helped me to grow my business. So, for example, with the island of Manhattan, as they were growing it, there was this one mayor or governor, I think, of the state or the city of Manhattan, and half the island was jungle, it was trees, it wasn't lived on yet. But he had this idea to build this grid out to fill the rest of the island. And people thought he was crazy. Well, we're not living there yet. Everybody's in this part of the island, no one's over there. Why do you want to build this grid? But he had this vision that if I build the grid, almost like Kevin Costner's, if you build it, they will come. He had this idea to build the grid, and within a few years, there were people living on the entire island. And so that type of planning and building systems for your company is so invaluable. I took that idea, and before that, for example, I would run the monthly credit card transactions on the phone. And it was fun to run them because I get to push these numbers in, and $500 would go in my bank account, and it was kind of fun. But I thought about it, I'm like, wait a second, if I have 1,000 clients, I'm going to be sitting here all month running numbers on the phone. I need an automated system. And even my bank, B of A, I don't want to badmouth you guys, but not such a great bank. You need to work on that. But B of A, my bank, didn't have a way for me to automate this. And QuickBooks did. So I switched my merchant account over from B of A to QuickBooks, and now QuickBooks gets my extra merchant account money because I can automate those monthly payments, and it takes my time and energy away from something else. And it was funny that came from being mentored by a DVD series on New York City. And so definitely modeling and mirroring and learning from great masters. Last night we were doing some wonderful Tai Chi energy drills with the chess master, who is here speaking down here. And I learned so much from him by spending 5 minutes doing an energy drill with him that I never would have learned even talking to him a few hours. I felt like maybe I could play chess even decently against him after that. And so, giants like Chris Howard and even Tony Robbins and Harv Eker, Clinton Swain, these guys have given so much to my life, and they're great mentors of mine. And I don't even think I've had more than a 2-minute conversation with Harv Eker, but his course has led me to Clinton, which led me to Chris. And, these are giants that I learn from and I grow from, and they've really had such a huge impact on my life. And so you really want to surround yourself with greatness, people who have higher expectations for you than you have for yourself, and people you can call when you have a question. And one of the things I learned from this tape once, I forget what it is, but in this one tape I was listening to, he said that when you find a mentor and they're okay to mentor you, you don't just want to go to them with every little question that you have. Spend 2 hours and go on Google and look to find the answers first. Because let's say Jack Canfield agrees to mentor you, and you start calling him every other day going, Jack, I need to know how to do this. He's going to get upset, he's going to get peed off, and he's not going to mentor you anymore. And you're not really respecting and valuing his time. And you want to add value to people. I mean, who was it earlier today that said you can connect with anybody? That was great. It's true. With social networking, with these things out there, you can get access to people that we've never had access to before. You can reach out really to anyone. That 6 degrees of separation is really becoming closer and closer. And so, we look for strategic people even on Facebook that we'd like to be friends with, but we don't send them a message, hey, I want to be your friend because I want to suck your blood. We send them, like the mosquitoes out here in Belize, we send them a message and we say, here's how we can add some value to having a relationship and being friends with yours. A little tip that I gave to a few people that I was mentoring during the week this week is, you can actually control the left-hand side of the friends that show on your Facebook profile page. A lot of people don't know that. You can click on that and say, I want to show 12 people, and you can choose exactly which friends you show. So right now, when you look at my profile, you see I'm friends with Harv Eker, with John Asseroff, with DC Cordova, with Mari Smith, so with some really powerful people. So people go, wow, if he's friends with all these really powerful people, he must be somebody huge, right? So it's that I don't want to say guilt by association, but it's that sort of success by association. So, I mean, it's just so, I mean, there's a million things I could say to you guys, and I could talk for hours, and I would love to, but we've got a 10-minute session here. But definitely believe in yourselves. One of the terms I like for the personal development movement, because I know people who don't come and do all this sort of stuff. My friends from high school think I'm crazy. They think I've joined a cult, and they have no idea. That's why I like the fact that Tony's coming out with this new show soon, because he's going to show the public what this is all about, and a lot more people can convert, and we're going to be able to raise the energy on this planet. So 2012 is going to be a blessing, and all this wonderful stuff's going to come out of that, as opposed to what all these people are afraid of right now, because the media and everything else wants things to run on fear. And so the term I like for the personal development movement, I've heard others use this, is the human potential movement. Because as a human, you have unlimited potential. And so to reach that potential, you need to work with others. You need to work with Chris Howard. You need to work with greats out there. And you need to work with Abraham Lincoln and other people, and just study masters out there. And that's just really, really the way to go. So I've been given the peace sign, which I think means 2 more minutes. And I don't know, I didn't really plan what I was going to say to you guys, because when I talk to the camera, and this is important, I do my best to just act like I'm talking to a friend. And I don't think about what I'm going to say per se sometimes before I get up here, and I just go with the flow, and I just go with the energy and stuff. And I think the most important thing you can do out there is be real, add value, and just be yourself, because people are going to love who you are. And so if you're real in yourself and you add value, you can be successful at anything you do. And it's so important that when you're choosing what you do, that you love it, because it's going to take longer than you think to succeed. So if you love what you do, you're going to be willing to take that 5, 10, 20 years that it takes to succeed. And you also have to be sure that you can be great at it and that there's money to be made in it. This is actually called the Hedgehog Principle, taught by Collins. He writes the book Good to Great. And what he suggests, and here's a little home play for you guys, as Chris teaches us to use the home play term, I love it, is to write 10 things you love to do, 10 things you can be great at, and 10 things you can make money at. Because once again, if you can't make money at it, then it's just a hobby. And so with that being said, thank you so much for having me down here, Chris. And everyone at Billionaire Bootcamp, thank you for opening your arms and inviting me in and working with me. I learned so much by helping you guys learn. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.